What's up, everyone? It's Shane and
Ryan.
from R&S TCG. You're watching this on YouTube right now. There's clearly a title for this video, but Ryan's trying to get a reaction out of me and a surprise, so I don't know what this video is about. Go ahead, let me know, Ryan.
Magic announced a small change, and I wanted to get Shane's his first reaction to this. I'm not
Small
going to say
change.
anything about what it's about. I'm just going to read it straight from comicbook.com.
I
They're the
really
ones that,
hope this is not a fucking rule change.
well, all right, you ready?
Yeah, I guess. I'm not. As you can tell, I'm so excited.
Magic the Gathering has announced major changes to its standard format. On Sunday,
Okay.
Wizards of the Coast announced that Standard, its most popular organized play format,
Well,
will have it.
which,
There's a reason they changed it.
but standard saying it's their most. I mean, I
It's
guess
not. It's
Commander's their
not.
most popular form.
All right.
Anyways, sorry, go on.
All right. Standard, its most popular organized play format, will have its rotation period extended from 2 years to three.
Really?
That means every new Magic the Gathering set Wizards of the Coast releases, aside from Universes Beyond tie-ins and set-specific non-rotation formats, will be legal in standard play for 3 years before rotating out. The change is effective as of the release of Magic the Gathering's Wilds of Eldraine expansion in the fall, which is when the standard rotation takes place in 2023. There will be no Magic the Gathering standard rotation. The Magic the Gathering sets Innistrad, Crimson Vow, Innistrad Midnight Hunt, Kamigawa, Neon Dynasty, and Streets of New Capenna, which are expected to rotate out of standard with Wilds of Eldraine's debut, will instead rotate out of standard in 2024.
Huh.
I guess the set there is called Magic the Gathering Arena, which is supposed to tie in with Steam and consoles getting Arena.
Do
So
they give a reasoning behind this?
apparently, I've heard because I've been watching videos about it all day. Apparently, Standard is not is not as popular as they'd like to think it is.
Right. There.
Most
I think most people are playing Commander, and then I want to say even nowadays
Pioneer.
Modern's getting a bigger following
Well,
than Standard.
so Pioneer is the
Pioneer. Yep.
new modern. Um, it's kind of like baby modern, right?
Right. So Modern and Pioneer, I think, are starting to be more popular. Well, have been, I think, for a while now,
Well,
more
yeah,
popular than
Pioneer has
Standard.
definitely been more popular because more people are playing it, and more people are have access to the sets that are in Pioneer than they do modern. So Pioneer is definitely the more
Played.
popular
Right.
format. And I also think this is also a way to get people to play Brawl.
Maybe, yeah. So I guess my initial thoughts on this. I'm not opposed to this by any means. It keeps cards relevant and in rotation longer, which is kind of nice because then you're not, especially like we like to play with our group. We like to do standard stuff sometimes, and it's nice to, be able to keep decks we put together, keep them, and maybe expand upon them for a little longer than what we have been doing. And so if this was 5 years ago, I would be whistling a different tune here, because at that point we were still doing block rotations. I believe 5 years ago for sets. So you had in one year you had like three sets that were all kind of tied into get each other some way or another, by theme or plane or whatever. So in that case, the rotation, how it was rotating out then, made sense because it was keeping like stuff together. You know what I mean? Where at that point, if you would have included stuff that much longer, then you have stuff from all over the place mixed in there. And at that point, I would have said that doesn't really make much sense. But since we don't have any block rotations anymore and shit's all over the place anyways, it really doesn't matter expanding it by another, what, 2 years? It's going to be a 5 year road. 3 year rotation instead
No,
of 2 year.
it was originally it was a 2-year rotation. Now it's
Now
a
it's a
3-year
3 year.
rotation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see anything personally wrong with it that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm for it.
Yeah.
I don't care. I think that's all right idea, and I mean probably a smart move on Wizards' part if they want to keep standard more relevant, which clearly they do because from a business standpoint, whenever you have new sets come out, those go into the standard rotation. Whereas with Pioneer and Modern, yeah, that stuff goes then into Modern and Pioneer rotation too, but most of the cards don't have as much impact on that because those sets already or those series already pull from sets so far back that you might get one or two cards from a set that you would actually maybe be able to utilize in those. Whereas with standard, a whole different ball of wax here.
Don't I'm that's pretty much how I'm looking at it. I was kind of like, I mean, I don't really care. I'm kind of like a 55-45 in favor of. Like I get people are going to get salty about it because it was, I mean,
Who's getting
yeah, it was
salty about it?
fun to be able it was fun to be able to, you know, constantly update stuff. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I don't really have time to do that stuff.
Well,
Uh,
it's not like you and I go do tournaments for standard,
no.
so it
Um,
doesn't really affect. Ow,
and from
us.
a, you know, our business standpoint, it's better because
I think so too.
that means our cards that we sell from previous sets are going to have longer lasting value.
Yeah, I think so too, and
Because
I think in
there's more
general the.
sets.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm talking
I was
over
gonna
you.
say there's because then there's more formats that these cards are have
Relevant,
value in.
right? They're relevant longer. It gives certain cards relevancy for a slightly longer period
Yeah.
of time
So the downside is if you play standard, if you play brawl, that means you got to deal with Shieldred and Toxic
for a
for
bit
another year.
longer. Yeah, yeah, that's yeah. I could see where that would be, especially how to deal with toxic. I mean, that's why with our play group we don't other than when we're drafting the sets. Obviously, if the set has toxic or something in it, then that's fine. But when we're doing our own organized play, we don't allow poison counter shit just because it's kind of
It's changed.
it's kind of cheap ass, you know. So,
It's cheap.
um, so you said you've been watching videos. I've been busy all day. I've been doing yard work and shit. Woo-hoo, real fun.
It's
Um,
um it's kind of like how I mean I think a lot of people are kind of like I think the people that don't care are these people that play Commander mostly because
which
who
is
cares?
the majority of
Yeah, the
people.
majority of Magic players play Commander.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
yeah.
Um, there's a couple people who were like, you know, no, this is a stupid idea. This is a stupid idea. And one in particular, he thought about it and then he made a video about how, or he was on Twitter talking about how stupid it was. And then
Mm-hmm.
the next day he thought about it and he's like, actually, I take that back. He thinks it's a good idea. So
When was this news released? Was this yesterday?
this is weekend.
Over the weekend? Okay. Huh.
Yeah, because I had the Pro Tour this weekend.
So they announced it coinciding with
So
that.
they announced it
That
during the
makes
Pro
sense.
Tour.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So yeah. Again, I think overall, realistically, if we want to be realistically overall, for me personally, it really doesn't make a difference. Um, but I don't think it's a bad thing by any means. And from a business standpoint, for anybody that's in the card business, I think it's a boon to a degree, just because cards could potentially be relevant for a slightly longer period of time.
yeah, I'm trying to think of why anybody would be mad. I guess if
I don't
they
know.
enjoy, I could see if you enjoyed the deck building aspect of the game, which is a, you know, it's a thing.
Oh yeah.
You know, being able to play standard and being able to use your, you know, your brain to put together sets built on standard and being good at it. You know, that could take, I guess that could take some of the joy out of the game for you.
Well,
But
then if you like building decks, do draft, because I mean that's why I really enjoy draft, because it puts everybody kind of on a level footing if you're playing draft with people, and you have to be kind of quick on your toes and throw together a deck that's
Yeah. I mean, that's the only I can't think that's the only thing I can think of as to why people would not like it. Or maybe the fact that it's like if you're getting into standard, then there's more sets you got to pile through to get the best
Yeah, I
cards. But
that kind of makes sense. And I think to add on to that, maybe one more reason why some people might not like it: change. People don't like change.
but I mean
Realistically.
that's sort of funny that you say they don't like change when standard is literally the sort of the epitome of change
Well,
because
but
you
I
have
mean,
to
like
constantly change your
they
deck.
okay. I shouldn't say change then. They like consistency, and now what's been consistent for so long is now changed, is gone off kilter a little bit, and it's not the same consistency it was.
Yeah. So I mean, I suspect, and I think people are. I think people haven't really caught on yet to this change because number one, most people don't play standard, or nobody plays brawl. Um, People are still. I think that the Pinkerton thing is slowly dying out, but there are still people out there. But Pro Tour just ended, um, and that's a thing. I think that's people talking about the deck that won, and by deck I mean decks because four of the final eight was the same deck.
That's not a huge surprise, unfortunately.
So, so that's it. That's all I got. Just changes to standard. I like the idea. I think it's a good idea. Am I super excited for standard? I don't know. Ask me in a year.
Yeah, I mean, again, like for me, it doesn't.
I think
I
overall
don't
the
think
value
it
is better.
affects me really either way.
Yeah, it didn't really affect me either way because we rarely play standard anymore. Although it would be fun to get back into it.
Well,
Um,
I mean, we would be able to do it more, but these sets keep coming out so fast that we'll draft a set and
yeah, next that's
we do our 4 week draft tournament, and then by the time we're done, the next set's out, so we don't you know unless we were going to
yeah,
start playing 2 or 3 times a week, and
yeah.
that's too much for me. I
You
like the game,
already played
but
2 to 3 times a week.
shit, yeah, a couple weeks ago I did three freaking days. They were all tournaments. They were all draft. God.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, yeah. I guess unless you got any final points to say, I
No,
guess
no, I think you hit it on the head. I don't think it's a bad idea from
no.
across the board.
Yeah. I don't. Again, like you said, ask again in 6 months to a year, and maybe something pops up that changes my mind, but I highly doubt that. I think it's fine. I don't really see any issue with it. So, yeah. Um, so yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for tuning in. If you stuck with us here, and hit that like, subscribe, comment. You know the usual rigmarole here, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
Peace out.